My name's John Hamilton. I'm 21, and I live in Lancaster. I look at the dog shelter. Well, in the morning, we had a meeting, and then they tell you what to do. I open all windows up. I get the bullets disinfected. I give dogs water. I pick up trash outside sometimes in the parking lot. Basically, I pour the water bowls out, and I fill up the water bowl, fill it up. Then I put it back in there sometimes. Do that, get dogs water. All the co-workers are nice back here. They're all nice. Well, people need to give dogs a chance, because you give dogs a chance, the dog will be your best friend. And dogs won't be so mean if you don't go hitting on them, but if you be nice to a dog, they'll be nice back to you. Got a black and white dog, puppy here, and I bonded with it, and it got adopted out, so I miss that dog. It's a cool dog. My dad, he shows me how to do stuff. It's like I'm outside mowing the grass. I didn't know how to mow the grass, so my dad showed me how to mow the grass. It feels good to help my dad pay the bills in the house. So it feels good to have a job to help my dad with the bills. You can get a job, just do a good job. When your boss tells you to do something, you just go out and do it and prove to your boss that you can do it. I like to work here for a long time.
Fairfield Federal, in cooperation with Interface Video, presents the Lancaster Festival, live from downtown Lancaster. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan makes it easy to take control of your personal finances and build your wealth. You can access your accounts 24/7 with online banking, bill paying, and debit MasterCard. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, checking, savings, and home loans, online and on the go. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Also brought to you by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, Walker Shoe Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Historical Parks, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, Fleet Masters, Dagger Johnston, Miller Ogilvy and Hampson, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Ohio Christian University, the Frame Shop, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Lancaster Festival Live. I'm your host, Paul Jasson. Thank you for joining us. And on this Wednesday, it's another fabulous day downtown. So we're very fortunate, after a kind of a rainy beginning over the weekend to a couple of events. These last couple of days have just been wonderful. Yesterday and today, and you can probably see in the background, beautiful day. Arnett Howard's behind us. We'll hear from Arnett and his group in a little bit within this Lancaster Festival Live broadcast. So thank you for joining us. We'll be down here the rest of the week, Thursday and Friday. Got a lot of great guests lined up, so it's always an exciting time to do the show live from downtown Lancaster on Lancaster Festival Live. Our first guest today, and it's really a young man who I've seen over the years. I hate to say I've seen him too much, but Nick Grilly of the Dagger Law Firm. Nick, how are you?
I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
And when I think about two names that are pretty well known in Lancaster, it would be Dagger Law and Grilly. Everybody remembers the Grilly family. I mean, your dad, in my mind, was one of the really fine athletes to come out of Lancaster. And your grandfather and then your dad had the restaurant and bar out on Memorial Drive and then downtown. So, and it's something you grew up with too. I know you did this, typical of a restaurant kid. You did this from an early age.
Absolutely, it was a real family business. You know, I started working there when I was probably 8 years old in the back doing dishes. So, yeah.
Well, I think events like that and things that you work with the family, I think, and I'm knowing your grandfather and your dad, I'm sure they got you a pretty good work ethic as you worked down there. You learned a lot in your time in the Grilly enterprises.
Oh, absolutely, and it taught me principles that I still follow today. You know, hard work equals success.
Well, now you're a member of the Dagger Law Firm, and again, one of the great law firms in town. I think Bill Dagger and Jim Miller. Jay Hampson, some of the folks that I knew to some degree, all great people. It's got to be very enjoyable to work with people that you can remember as a young person, and now you're up at the law firm.
You know, that is true. Actually, I started working there back in 2000, and the man who hired me was Jay Hampson, the late great Jay Hampson. And I started working there in college, and that transitioned to a law clerk and then ultimately an attorney, and I'm a partner there presently.
They're a full-service law firm, been here since 1902, early 1900s, and a full-service law firm. So if anyone has legal needs, just come in, talk to somebody, and they'll direct them to an attorney that specializes in that?
Yeah, so we've been around since 1902. We presently have 11 attorneys. We actually have a new hire who is taking the bar exam today.
Really?
Finishes it up tomorrow.
Is there any more pressure in your life than taking that bar exam?
Well, perhaps, but it's up there among the top three. But he finishes tomorrow, and I'm confident we'll have 12 attorneys. But we have over 250 years of combined legal expertise in real estate, personal injury, domestic relations, business, banking, corporate, oil and gas, juvenile. So we are a well-rounded, full-service, comprehensive law firm that's been serving the community for over 115 years.
So 115 years, even today as we speak, you may be adding a new attorney to the firm. Hopefully you will. So even in this time, this many years later, the firm's still growing, still changing, keeping up with whatever the current times are needed for attorneys.
Yes, I attribute our success as a law firm over the years to our commitment to this community, our commitment to our clients, making sure that we provide the best possible legal services we can provide, and the commitment to the attorneys to each other. And I think that's very important.
And even though they're a law firm, been here all these years, again, changing, keeping up with the times, I know your firm is very involved with the Lancaster Festival.
Since I have been at the firm, and even before then, the firm has been involved with the Lancaster Festival. Not only do we participate, we're a major sponsor, we volunteer. Two of our attorneys are current board members, Norm Ogilvy and Randy Happany. You'll see many of our attorneys and staff at events, including today. I believe actually for this week and a half during the festival, we extend the lunch hour so that our staff can come down and enjoy the music. So we love the festival. It's a great event, and in my opinion, it's an event that really defines Lancaster, really separates it from other cities its size. For this small city to draw musicians and artists and entertainers from around the world to come here and transform this community into an arts and music mecca for a week and a half is amazing.
Well, you're somebody that has grown up in this. You've seen it since day one. You've been here all 33 years that the festival has been around. And so now somebody that's in the position you are to see what an impact on the community, how your firm has joined in, got involved, even up to board members. Again, I think that says a lot for a community like Lancaster, and I know you're a big supporter of Lancaster and Fairfield County.
Absolutely, absolutely. We owe our success to this city. As I attend festival events, what I've begun noticing over the past several years is the sense of pride among people from Lancaster who attend the event. It's palpable. It's really not only a celebration of music, of arts, of entertainment, but it really is a celebration of this city, and I think that's remarkable.
I know you get to drop down here, just walk a half a block and have lunch down here with perhaps an extended lunch hour, but are there other events that you and your family like to get to, or anything you always look for a high point?
Well, ever since my family had the restaurant and bar downtown, the Art Walk was the biggest night of the year. So I always attended the Art Walk, but for most of my life I worked the Art Walk. Since we've sold that restaurant, I attend the Art Walk, each Saturday concert, and then Wednesday night's concert, tonight's concert.
Sure, yeah, tribute bands.
The tribute bands,
right,
yes.
Yeah. You going out tonight?
I'm going to try.
Very good. And I will say that there has been more than one occasion when I watched the Art Walk go by the window let's call it a restaurant. Let's just say it was a restaurant down here, and I watched it go by. You were probably working there somewhere, but again, it's such a fun time to see volunteers and government and police agencies and fire department. Everybody comes together and just makes it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the remarkable qualities of this event is, everyone comes together. Business leaders, volunteers, citizens, volunteer organizations, they truly come together and make it a remarkable event.
Well, Nick Grilly, it's been a joy talking to you. You always have had a wonderful family. You're the latest in a line of great folks that I know the Grillys to be. So continued success up at Dagger Law, partner up there, and maybe we'll get to talk to you again down the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's all right. Nick Grilly from Dagger Law. We've got a nice interview coming up with our good friend Arnett Howard right now.
I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs, 740-689-6991.
The Frame Shop in Lancaster has been family-owned and operated since 1975, offering a lifetime guarantee on materials and workmanship. All framing is done in our workshop with the utmost attention to detail. You'll have a one-of-a-kind product custom-made just for you. We can frame many types of items. We also offer frame and photo restoration and repair along with ready-made frames. The Frame Shop, where your business and loyalty are very important to us.
Hello, friends, and a very special guest. Always a pleasure to have Arnett Howard with us. There's probably no one more popular at the Lancaster Festival than Mr. Arnett Howard. Arnett, how are you?
There's somebody more popular. I just know there is.
Well, if there are, I haven't run into him yet. Gary Sheldon and Ken Culver say it's you, so I'm going with them.
All right. Say hi to Gary. Hey, Gary. Love you, man.
All right. You're performing down here today. You've got the noontime gig going. You've been down here so many years, and the crowd's already filling up for you out here. You're such a favorite down here at Lancaster Festival. Got to be a great feeling, almost like coming home, huh?
I've been here since 1989. That was my first performance, and that was almost 30 years ago.
You were just a baby, weren't you?
Yeah, I came down here at 2.
Yeah, I've got a couple old T-shirts. Used to sell the T-shirts when we had the Friday night. And I remember one year we got rained out and had to go up to the school and finish the performance. I mean, there's probably not much down here you haven't seen.
Well, when you entertain, this is such a special audience. When you entertain, you got to give 100%, 120%. And so we let rain interrupt us last year, but we're going to do twice as good this year.
Well, when you come down here, again, the crowd behind us is going to be a big crowd today to see you, and you've got the magic down here. You work with kids over the years. You've worked with the orchestra over the years. For us down here, it's just like seeing an old friend.
Well, it's nice to be here. I love everyone in Lancaster, and it's just nice. I appreciate the invitation to come back.
And I appreciate you saying Lancaster, because most people, although Columbus, that's exactly right. You could spot somebody that's a local guy.
Yeah. Lancaster.
Arnett Howard here, noon today at the Lancaster Festival. Have a great time here and enjoy it.
Appreciate it. Nice to be here.
Very good. Thanks. We'll be back.
Lancaster Festival Live is brought to you by South Central Power, providing affordable, reliable, and safe electric since 1936. It's Ohio's largest electric cooperative, serving over 15,000 members in 24 counties. South Central Power, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. Also by Buckeye Lake Marina, located in Millersport at 2920 Canal Drive, offering new and used boats. They sell Yamaha, Bennington, Crown Line, South Bay, and Rinker. You can contact them at 740-467-2697. And by Walker Shoe Center. Support comes from Walker's Shoe Center at 737 East Main Street in Lancaster. A sit-down, get-your-feet-measured store. Visit them on Facebook. By the Fairfield County Historical Parks. They've been protecting and preserving unique cultural and historical treasures since 1981. Experience your heritage. Visit them at historicalparks.org. by Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, proud to support the 2017 Lancaster Festival, founded right here in Fairfield County. Fairhope, here for you in the hardest of times. And by Fleet Masters. For over 20 years, Fleet Masters has provided medium and heavy-duty truck repairs for our customers throughout central and southeastern Ohio.
All right, we are back, and it's a pleasure to have the chief of the fire department here, Dave Ward. How are you?
I'm good, Paul. How are you doing?
Good, good. I know you're out here. I've seen you a couple days. What is this? This is Wednesday now. I've seen you a couple of days out here to enjoy the downtown. You able to make most lunches down there? Is that convenient for you?
It is. I try to come down at least 2 or 3 times at lunchtime during the festival.
And I'm sure Monday, Rotary Day, you would not miss that.
You know, Rotary, it's 100 years this year, and we're doing a project every month.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you doing anything in any of those?
Probably.
Moving on. Let's just move on. I don't want to embarrass you
Okay.
anymore.
All right.
Does the fire department have any increased duties with all of this downtown, the logistics of everything? Does it increase you and your men's job and women's job to make it more difficult?
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize, but anytime you have the festival or the fair, we come down and we'll check the food trucks before it opens up. Any kind of membrane structure like the tents have to be inspected by us. Yeah. So we have to make sure they're strapped down properly. And then we try to get down here during the art walk. We'll send an engine down and a medic, because invariably when you put that many people in a hot situation, you're going to have somebody gets a little woozy or a little want to pass out and stuff. So we like to be down here so that, one, we enjoy the festival, but number two, as a safety factor.
Did anything extraordinary? I know some of the Friday night art walks have been mercilessly hot, and I'm sure there were occasions when you guys were needed, but as a rule, it's not been too bad. Cool has been the word of the day, other than rain.
Yeah, we haven't had any runs that I know of that really were anything. Now, like at the festival in years past, we've had, when it gets hot, we have people that want to maybe drink a little bit too much, and then they dehydrate, and so they have some passing out issues. This year, I think we're going to try to have a mister from the EMA that will, if somebody gets overheated, we can try and mist them down a little bit and cool them off. So,
how about an update on the 2016 year? We're pretty well into 2017, but as you look back, probably the last statistics, full ones you have, are for 2016. But I mean, in my mind, and I don't see everything, but you guys look busier than ever all the time.
You know, it's interesting because we are. And I kind of reflect back to when we took over in 2012 and a little bit before then. Medic runs tend to go up about 3% a year. I just did the numbers year to date. From January through July, both 2016 versus 2017, medic runs are up, might as well say 8%. It's 7.99%. And fire runs are up almost 10% year over year for the same period of time. We are really busy. We are logging engine hours, a huge amount of engine hours, whether that be responding or idling while you're on the scene. Mutual aid. In 2010, we had requested mutual aid into the city about 18 times. That's where we'd say, hey, Greenfield, we need help. Can you come in? Last year, for fiscal year 2016, we asked for help 216 times. There's days now where every apparatus in our city's busy. Everything's backed up. In fact, the other day, we had every apparatus, plus we had a fire going on. We had 3 outside agencies helping us on a fire and 2 more responding to medic runs. We had exhausted the whole run card system within our structure for help. So it's crazy. It's really busy. And plus, we do all the inspections for the city with one full-time inspector. So we are really doing a lot.
You expect a 3% increase in something, say like medic runs. You said that. So now everything is up remarkably above that. Can you put a finger on that? Can you attribute that to any item?
You know, we talk about the opiates, and that has that is increasing our run. And when you have, say, the heroin overdose or the heroin fentanyl or heroin carfentanyl, you not only get 3 medics. We have 3-man medics, but you also get an engine company, and that in itself, and you may get our command staff person, our captain who's in charge. So you're looking at 6 to 7 people tied up on a run. And it's truly amazing that you can go to a person who's agonal breathing, which means maybe 1 or 2 breaths a minute, and they're basically dying or almost dead. They're purple, And you can start, in fact, one Friday afternoon I heard a drug overdose come in, and I said, I'm going to go with the medics. So I got on the run with them, and we get on the scene, and it was in a basement. And this lady was in her 30s or 40s, and they had little Tykes gym equipment. So they had little ones there, and she's passed out. She's on heroin. They did the Narcan up the nose, and then they started an IV in the bone, interosseous infusion in the bone. They did intubated her airway down the tube. Took about 10 minutes, and then the Narcan pops in, blocks the opiate response. She wakes up, and she's like, they took the tube out, and she's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm fine." And this person literally was breathing once or twice a minute, close to death. It's devastating to not just our community, but it's all over this country. And I don't know how we get a handle on it. I don't know if you can get a handle on it yet.
Well, you've grown up in this area, in this community, just as I have. And when I talk to various people around here, some of the people that are in the drug enforcement area, the police department, the fire department, the Ormond Hall, the judges who have drug courts and things, and I think everybody is just amazed, and I certainly am. I never thought I would see the way things are going in this community right now. It's not good. I wouldn't say it's just. I mean, it's not our community. It's the country. Yeah. I mean, we have firefighters in bulletproof vests now. We all have those on the domestic violence. Yeah, we wear those as a precaution. You hope it never happens, but we want to be ready for it. And I have to say, our police department does a fantastic job. Our medics and our firefighters certainly do a great job. And we'll see where it goes, but we try to stay ahead of the curve. The thing about what I've been trying to do is we've done a 5-year strategic plan since at least 2012, and I would really like to see us staff up a little bit more. Prior to the recession, we were at 92, and of course that was high. We got down to about 83, which is really the number I would like to see us at. What number is that?
Oh, 83 is the number. 82, 83 is where the number I'd like to see. And we could staff what I'd like long-term or sometime in the near future. I'd like to see us be able to staff a 4th medic and / engine company, because we could really keep 4 medics busy all the time. Right now we have 3 medics. One of those medics up on behind St. Mary's, Engine House 1, is cross-staffed. So if a fire comes in, they take the big truck, the aerial platform. If a medic run comes in, they take the medic. Well, a lot of times you have 3 medics tied up. You only have 2 engines fighting a fire. We really need a 4th medic. We need about 12 more people to really fulfill the mission, and that's not overkill. That's just trying to get the job done. That would bring down our mutual aid responses. That would give us better response time. In fact, an interesting thing about response time, I just had our GIS officer, Scott Snyder, run a study on our response times for 2015, which was the last time that the state of Ohio had that data. And our response times on fire runs to the Dominion home area is over 9 minutes now. And so the 3 engine houses we have now are, I think, very located very well. They're close. The west side is a great location. It's a small engine house. It could be enlarged and a few different things, but it's in a great place. Engine House 1 serves this central area real well, and the east side obviously serves that well. But we really need to start focusing on how do we better serve that area. 9 minutes is too long. If you're not breathing, in 4 to 6 minutes, you got permanent brain damage or death. If a fire, especially with lightweight construction, which I talked to you about a little bit at Kiwanis, once a fire gets started in this lightweight construction, I mean, it's off to the races. So we really need to start thinking short to medium term. How do we get a station up there, but more importantly, how do we staff it? So if we can get our staffing up and then maybe purchase some ground for future expansion up there, that's the biggest thing I see right now.
Final question, yes or no, will it happen out there at Dominion?
I think everything.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question, Dave.
Yes.
Okay. We're not going to put a time frame on it, but everybody wants it.
It's going to have to, yes.
Okay, very good. Lancaster Fire Department Chief Dave Ward was with us today, and my golly, Dave, thanks for a busy schedule. Thanks for coming down here. Enjoy your day.
But I'm not done yet. I have so much more to say.
I know, but we're done at 12:40, so we'll try to keep moving. Thank you, David. Last night at First United Methodist Church, they featured the Chamber Music Classics. Listen to a piece from that performance. chamber music classics up at First United Methodist Church last night. The Veronica String Quartet, what a wonderful group they are, and always a pleasure to have a nice clip-on from what went on the previous day. So we appreciate Interface and everybody doing that. Also a pleasure to have on. I always enjoy having the movers and shakers on in the community, and I've got one of them right now. Dave Scheffler, Executive Director of Destination Downtown. Thank you for joining us.
Happy to be here, Paul. I can always talk about downtown.
I bet you can, and you've got to be in your element. There are lots of weeks when you're very happy, probably most weeks you're very happy to see what's going on downtown, but this week has to really pump you up.
Yeah, after Art Walk last Friday night, it's great just to be down here and enjoy it. Michelle and I start working on, mostly Michelle, starts working on Art Walk in February, and it's builds and builds and builds until a few weeks before. It's constant, lots of hours every day, and when it's over, it's like, and now we can enjoy the festival.
Well, good. And Friday was an interesting day, kind of a rainy, not a very good day. It gets close to that, and the heavens open up, and here we go.
And then, evening, the sun came out, beautiful sunset. A lot of people sent me pictures of the downtown sunset over a big crowd of people, which was great. And we had a fabulous turnout. Seemed like everybody was happy.
And things are continuing to grow in downtown. I know we still got businesses they have already opened recently. There are more to come. So things, just because the festival's here, things don't stop with Lancaster downtown.
Absolutely. We had 3 new businesses open on Friday, as a matter of fact. Mystic Boutique at 120 North Columbus Street. A Restore and Adore at 129 North Columbus Street, and Confectionery LLC at 115 South Columbus Street. All busy, all great shops. We're happy to have all of them. And as quickly as space becomes available, we can fill it.
Have a cupcake yet?
I have not had a cupcake yet. I've been down there a few times, but there's always been a line, and I'm usually en route here or there, so I haven't had one yet. I'll get one, though, soon.
And I'm always encouraged, and I'm sure that encourages you, to see local people, in most cases local people, willing to take a step forward out on faith and say, we've got a dream, we want to see it happen, and downtown Lancaster is where we want that to occur.
Absolutely. Downtown is an incubator for small business. As we know, small business creates most of the new jobs in the country. And we don't have any big chains down here. They're all entrepreneurs, all our friends and neighbors, and they're out on their own, doing their thing, following their dream. And it's just a great place to be, to see all the excitement and development and dreams come true.
And we all talk about what Lancaster used to be. That's an easy reference point. Well, back in the day, it was this. But I used to work at Sears when I was going to college. Sears used to be downtown where Signature Restaurant was, Dave John's building right there, and that was Sears. And you had to get out to lunch before noon because Kenny's across the street, where the bookstore is, filled up, but there were just a lot of restaurants to eat. But I think now there may be more restaurants to eat and more opportunities to eat downtown than there were back then.
We have a lot of restaurants and 3 more coming. Of course, Shaw's is going to reopen in probably about a month. Maria's Cantina in the former Lodge location should be open maybe about the same time or shortly thereafter. And O'Hood's, a new Irish or Gaelic pub, is going to open at 163 West Main Street, where Signature formerly was.
That was Sears.
Yeah, that was Sears. You're right. I remember when it was Sears. So we've just got every kind of food imaginable. We don't have an Oriental place yet, but that doesn't mean we won't get one soon.
Sure.
But we have every other genre of food, and you can have whatever you want to eat, whenever you want to eat it downtown.
And we're at the festival. This, a culmination of so much work from you and your girl down there, and everybody has worked so hard. But what's next on the agenda for Destination Downtown? The festival ends, and it's just there are not that many businesses, storefronts to open anymore, so you just keep pumping the downtown.
Well, there are lots of things. The Gateway site is going to be released by the EPA sometime in the very near future, so some development for that. Promoting the businesses we have to get our citizens to leave Memorial Drive and Edie Road and come downtown and see what we've got here. Of course,
Leave the dark side.
Leave the dark side. But there's always an issue or something going on that we can address. Parking, bicycle infrastructure, keeping the parks great, the public transportation system. There's always things in motion that we can work on.
Isn't it fun to come out of your office and just look out at downtown on a day like this and just see downtown bustling? Every day is busy, I will say that. There's cars here in the evening, there's cars here almost any time of day. But to come out of your home up on the hill here and look out and say, wow, it's really happening.
Nothing pleases me more than to look out my living room window and see every parking spot on Main Street filled. Something is going on.
Well, just let me say that Destination Downtown, a lot of it under your leadership, has done a terrific job. And I'm sure you give credit to other community partners, and everybody has worked hard on this, but the downtown is alive. It's exciting to come down, not only for the festival, but any day or night. Pretty fun.
Yes, you can find whatever you want. Live music every weekend downtown, food, fun, parks, beautiful parks. I mean, it's all here. Come down and enjoy it.
Thanks for all you and your staff does, and Destination Downtown, great job. Thanks, David.
Thank you, Paul, for having me.
Executive Director of Destination Downtown Lancaster, Dave Scheffler. We'll be back on Lancaster Festival Live in just a moment.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest-growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to RN to BSN, substance abuse counseling, and more. 855-OCU-GRAD or on the web, enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster or 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Boy, it's a day of greats and near greats with us today as we have Executive Director of the Lancaster Festival on Ken Culver. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday.
Well, thanks for having me, Paul. It's good to be here. And I don't know that we're greats or near greats, but we're all mortals, but we're doing the best we can.
A rough start to the weekend, getting going here. Little rainage out at the fairgrounds on Saturday. A lot more on Saturday night. But you weathered that storm. You made some difficult calls, and I could only imagine what the brain trust of the Lancaster Festival had to go through at that moment to make those decisions. Those are tough calls.
Yes, the call was tough to begin with Saturday late afternoon, and then we were quite busy Saturday night and all day Sunday. Sunday was not a day of rest. Sunday was decision-making time, and Monday morning to make refunds, we thought it was the right thing to do. I have to give a shout-out to the community. The community has been very, very supportive. Most people have said, hey, you can't control the weather.
Like a baseball game.
Exactly, and so they've just considered it a donation. And other people, I understand, they've come from far away, some of them from Cincinnati and Cleveland. They had hotels they lost out on, and they asked for a refund, and we're glad to give it to them.
Sure.
But yes, the sun is shining, and we're looking forward to tonight's presentation of Tusk. We go out, we have our crew out there at the site looking at constantly checking the turf. The turf is drying out beautifully. This kind of weather today, sunshine with some light wind, really helps. We are making some changes tonight insofar as gates are concerned. Yes, we are not going to open the main gate, but rather we're having tickets stamped in at two gates, that is the Johns Gate and the Covered Bridge Gate. And we have put out the word through social media and through the local media for people to park in hard surface lots at the high school, at the developmental disabilities, at the Ohio University, any place that there's a hard surface. We're asking people to park there. We want to keep cars off of the grass because it's still a lot of pressure on the grass. And so the other change, Paul, is that we were not able to do the fireworks for the Mavericks but we are going to shoot the fireworks off tonight after the Tusk performance. So that'll be kind of an explanation point to the end of the evening.
So at this point, things have dried off nice, or are drying off nicely, and this kind of weather has to be an asset.
Yes, they're drying off nicely. We should have a good evening. It's going to continue sunshiny today, and we're going to have plenty of food, plenty of beverages. There'll be about 4 or 5 different food trucks out there, so there'll be plenty to eat, plenty to drink, and we're looking forward to a great concert tonight. And of course, as we have advertised, Tusk is going to be joined by the Lancaster Percussion Ensemble, the high school percussion ensemble. They're very excited about joining Tusk, and so that's going to be the end to a wonderful evening.
And that's going to be, they were great down here yesterday. You probably got to see them yesterday, and then to move out there tomorrow night. Boy, for high school young people to be able to do what they can do at their level, what a remarkable group.
If you ask new people, every time we get the same response, are these really high school students? 30, 35 years of this, and of course the crowds yesterday were phenomenal. I've never seen a bigger crowd, and so hopefully they'll come out tonight and see the same Lancaster Percussion Ensemble on stage with Tusk, the ultimate Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, easy for you to say. Fleetwood Mac band.
Well, and I won't put you on the spot with this, but I hope there will be some discussion after this is all over, after the 29th, and things are wind down, when you start having your meetings, to the possibility of having the Mavericks back. I was a big proponent of theirs, and I think a lot of people who know them are, so I hope they can be put in that discussion to come back.
We have already had some discussion along those lines. Of course, no decision yet, but yes, definitely they're on the radar screen.
Well, we've got a lot to go yet. The festival's not nearly done. Headed up to America's Band on Saturday night. Looks great out there for that, so congratulations for all the work you and your staff and committee and volunteers do. From every angle, it looks like another tremendous year.
Thank you, and there are tickets available for Tusk tonight and for the Beach Boys Saturday night, so come on down and enjoy the festival.
Very good. Executive Director of the Lancaster Festival, Ken Culver, is with us, and just a great opportunity to talk about what goes on with the festival. Behind us, Arnett Howard, Downtown Live. Let's go over and hear a little bit of Arnett.
And Elijah had a call to be a faithful servant and to preach God's word to all. But Elijah was hot-headed. He didn't do the things he should. So God declared he'd have to turn sermons into wood. And every text he didn't preach, he whittled out of Oka Beach and painted them in colors bold for all his neighbors to behold. Soon folk from all around would stop inside his humble barber shop to ask if they might take a look in Elijah's wooden book. By trade, he was a barber. He worked hard all his life, a skilled man with a razor, an artist with his knife. Whoa, when he wasn't cutting hair, then you'd surely find Elijah sitting down in wood, the pictures in his mind.
The great Arnett Howard, and we were so fortunate to get an interview we showed a little bit earlier in today's Lancaster Festival Live, and then to be over and hear him. He is the guy as far as the Lancaster Festival goes. For 20, 25 years, he's been coming down here just giving the crowd all they could want. He just puts on a tremendous show. So we're glad Arnett could be with us, and it's just good to see him again. Just a wonderful job. And I didn't think anybody could top Dave Scheffler, but the greats and the near greats have stopped by again. We're pleased to have our Lancaster Mayor, Dave Smith with us. David, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Paul. It's great to be here. It's a pretty day downtown.
We're so very fortunate. You think back to what a nightmare Saturday turned out to be, but then yesterday and today, I mean, I guess that's Ohio. Stick around, but fabulous crowd across the street.
It is, and yesterday was too for the downtown performance with a percussion ensemble. Lancaster is very fortunate that not only do we find good talent to be downtown, but we got great patrons too.
They do.
A lot of nice people are downtown enjoying the food, the festivities, the music, a lot of camaraderie. I know that a lot of the civic groups in the downtown suspend their meetings and meet downtown as part of the festival, and that's all nice too.
I saw you and Deb here, the First Lady, on Monday maybe, trying to, some of the food vendors down here, you've hit them all probably in your time?
This is just kind of like the fair, just moved down a couple blocks, and same type of opportunity. We love to come down for an evening meal or for lunch or for a snack. A little ice cream in the afternoon never hurt anybody. I say that as I try to, yeah, buy a bigger shirt, Dave. Okay.
It has to, and again, we've talked about this. You have a lot of fun duties. You have a lot of tough calls you have to make as mayor. Just like Ken said, he had a tough call to make with, last Saturday night. And you have difficult times as the mayor. We read about that. But one of the more fun times must be to kind of oversee what goes on here and just watch the downtown. Every day's busy, but watch it come alive during these 10 days. It's remarkable.
Well, it is, and there's a lot of other activities that either coincide with the festival unintentionally, but everybody gets the benefit from the festival being here. So if you're here for a celebration for a family or a high school, and by the way, the festival's here, it's amazing how many class reunions do have either their big meeting or their little meetings to coincide with the festival or other activities of Lancaster. And so it's wonderful that it works out that way. And, we have out-of-town guests that come in and enjoy the festival, and it's a lot of fun. My wife invites her cousins to come in, and they're coming down for the Beach Boys. So we got a table plus that's going to listen to the Beach Boys. And, okay, we're all of that generation. We remember when they were kids, and we were kids.
They were truly boys.
They were the Beach Boys. And most of us know most of the words. It's getting harder every year. We used to know all the words 5 and 10 years ago.
They sing Help Me Rhonda, you go, is that a new song?
Yeah, no, it sounds familiar. I think I know that one.
So I know you attend the big concerts, and you're going out and try to go out tonight to hear Tusk. Do you hit any of the cafe concerts? Do you go to any of the other concerts or events during the week of the festival?
Well, yeah, we try to work it in. My wife has a personal schedule, and I have a personal schedule, and we try to see where we can sort out the times together. We certainly love going to St. Mary Church, and we always want to block that out for the brass fanfare. A little ice cream. Did I say ice cream again? A little more ice cream. And then that's a great venue, St. Mary Church, just a great venue. And they had a soprano, they had a tenor, and they had some brass people playing as solos and instrumentals, and then the orchestra itself, just marvelous. And we had a near front row seat, and we were a little bit close. We were in row C, which is a little bit close, and Dave Horsky was on the, I don't know what you call it, the big kettle. It's not a kettle, big drum. I saw him, and I saw he was raising his arm, and I said, "Watch out, Deb, something's going to happen." And it was the first note of the beginning, and I said, and it was loud, but it had its impact.
I heard that tenor sing Nessun Dorma up there, and that's I'm not a huge opera fan, but I like some Puccini stuff, and that's one of my favorite songs. But you're right, what a wonderful way to open up an entire festival.
Yeah, and it's always varied, and sometimes they'll have the strings be a dominant part of the program at St. Mary Church. But all those little cafe concerts, they're not really small, it's the smaller venues. Those cafe concerts, you get a little bit closer up personal with the players. And even when they come down to the bandstand, but not the bandstand, we're on the festival stage now this year. Even when you have a small group of 6 people with brass, oh, that's wonderful. And they got a great sound system. And I think where the stage is this year at the other end of South Broad Street, it seems to work better. The sound seems to be better. The truck traffic and the traffic on Main Hill doesn't seem to interfere with as much. And I can still get ice cream.
Third mention of ice cream. We'll put that in your contract. Chief Ward was on a little bit, so I'm surprised we have any time to talk left at all. But we do have a couple minutes. But I spoke with him about this. You've grown up here. You're a native. You've watched the entire 33 years evolve from the beginning with the Christian Badia days to the Columbus Symphony to where we are now. And I know this was probably where everybody had hoped, but I just wonder if Barb Hunsaker and everybody that was involved back then would have ever dreamt about something occurring like this. It is so amazing for a town like Lancaster.
I've seen people being interviewed with a question like that. Did you ever envision, and then fill in the blank? And sometimes it's somebody in the entertainment field, sometimes the sports world, politics, whatever you have. And there's always the hope, and there's always the dream. But when you are successful or moderately successful, and then that success builds and gets greater, and then you get more volunteers, you get more supporters, you get more financial backers, the festival is very fortunate. They've done a lot of nice things to perpetuate this. It wasn't 1 year and done, and they had some heartache, and they had some issues, and they had some sponsors that, because of tax situations or bankruptcy or whatever, they lost a couple key sponsors a number of years ago. And guess what? Cameo League and many others just filled in and filled the void and supported our community and this festival. And I think anymore that you can kind of say they're one and the same. They have a very good kinship, and it's Lancaster. It's also Fairfield County. We know it's Central Ohio, but Southeastern Ohio turns out large for some of the concerts. So we appreciate all the people that come in and enjoy what we're very proud of.
Yeah, Alan Sandy Romano back in those Cameo days did such a great job. The people that saved the Georgian, there's just so much going on that people realize there's a need, and there's no form or way to do it. They figure it out as they go. And like you say, they work through the problems and come out on the other end even better.
Well, sure. It's kind of like a family situation. You all chip in. Well, what do we need? Well, cousin whatever needs our help, and thoughts and prayers are always nice, but a little jingle goes a long way. I was talking about the festival, not our cousins.
I got you. Well, it may be. I know your cousins. Yeah. So that's possible. Mayor Dave Smith with us today. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of that. Good luck tonight. It's going to be a beautiful night, I believe, out there to see Tusk, and you'll be dancing out there. You and Deb will be leading the way, I'm sure.
Deb has the moves. I kind of do the watching. They have ice cream out there, too.
We should have another sponsor for this, I can tell you right now. Mayor, thank you for joining us.
What a pleasure.
Sure. Dave Smith, Mayor, will be with us today, Lancaster Festival Live. And Dave Smith will be out there tonight with the Tusk organization, the Fleetwood Mac Tribute Band. And let's see a clip from them of our previous past performance. This is Tusk.
It's only right that you should play the way you feel.
have to believe that anybody just walking by saying, look, they've got a clip up of Fleetwood Mac. That is a remarkable sound. I must say, I'd never heard them before. Tusk, that will be out here tonight at Ohio University. And wow, I think if that's an indication, going to be in for quite a show tonight, along with the Lancaster percussion. Should be a great show tonight. Got a calendar coming up of events for the rest of the day out here. Of course, we talk about the Tusk Band, but 1 o'clock today, just shortly, a few minutes, Holly's Harps are down at Art and Clay on Main Street. 1:30, matinee at the mall, Jumping Over the Moon. That's a madcap puppet musical. At 3 o'clock, the cafe concerts continue with the wonderful Generations Trio. They were up at First United Methodist Church last night. And then, as we mentioned, 7:30, the Tusk, the ultimate Fleetwood Mac band. They'll be there with the Lancaster percussion. So a lot going on yet today as we wrap up midweek Wednesday. I want to thank Nick Grilly from Dagger Law, Chief Dave Ward, who was here, Dave Scheffler with Destination Downtown. We had the mayor, Dave Smith, all with us today. Wonderful show. We appreciate you joining us. We'll do it all again tomorrow. And remember, you can watch all of these programs that we broadcast here live, and then they'll be replaying them here on Spectrum TV Channel 9 and on demand anytime. Go to the Interphase Video Facebook page. Click on any of the broadcasts. You can look them up. So the World Wide Web, they are out there. So for everyone downtown here, Bob Capetti, Interphase Video, thank you for joining us for today's Wednesday edition. Have a great day, and we'll see you down here tomorrow at noon for the Thursday edition. Have a great day.
Fairfield Federal, in cooperation with Interphase Video, presents the Lancaster Festival, live from downtown Lancaster. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan makes it easy to take control of your personal finances and build your wealth. You can access your accounts 24/7 with online banking, bill paying, and debit MasterCard. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, checking, savings, and home loans, online and on the go. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Also brought to you by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, Walker Shoe Center, Buckeye Lake Marina, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Historical Parks, Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, Fleet Masters, Dagger Johnston, Miller Ogilvy and Hampson, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Ohio Christian University, the Frame Shop, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.